Well, hello, Zentangle friends. This is Nancy Domnauer, certified Zentangle teacher, and thank you for being here. Today I would like to share a new pattern I've discovered, and we'll tangle it here on this tile. But first, let me talk about the zentomology of tangles. You might have heard this term, and it's a way of thinking about the characteristics of tangles and organizing and categorizing them by type. So, for example, a lot of us probably think about categories of such as grid patterns or organic, circular, dot grid, also known as seed tangles. There's bold. There's many more pattern types, and I started a tile here, which includes the patterns Fife, which is from headquarters, and it's more of a dot grid pattern. And then here's a circular pattern called Tipple, and the next one I'm going to do is called Woven. And let me write the name on the back there, and it's a great kind of bold, dramatic pattern, W-O-V-N, and it's by Suzanne McNeil. Okay, so take a moment to take a breath, and let's enjoy tangling here. Okay, I'm purposely going to leave a space blank here, but in this area I'm going to draw some vertical lines, so it's kind of begins somewhat of a grid, but it's also a bold, dramatic pattern. So simply draw some vertical lines and then start over here, and then you just kind of take your pen and you draw a line, maybe kind of going slightly downwards, maybe up. It's gonna, got some movement to it. You can make them a little bit more on an angle like that. And then you do a thin aura of that initial line. So just take your time. Aura what you just did earlier, and then take a break. Okay, and then we're going to come down and we're going to be working, we'll always start here on the left, and then I'm going to do this similar thing again, but it might be slightly different. It might go upwards, just straight across, downwards, whatever you do, there's no mistakes. You know, we love that about Zentangle. And then here we go, aura that line. And remember to breathe and be deliberate and just slow down and watch your pen fill in this area with a really neat pattern. Then over here, I'm going to start my next one. I have a blank space here, that's why I started there. And do my aura ing again. Okay, so there's the initial setup of it. And then what we're going to do is it's going to be a very bold, dramatic pattern. So what you should do is start somewhere, and I'm just going to quickly mark up the space. Like this one will be colored in black. In a moment I'll get a thicker nib pen. Then I leave that space white. I'm going to work downwards. This one will be inked in, that one will be left white, inked in, left white, inked in. Okay, and as I said, I'll go back in a moment with my thicker nib pen and really color those in. Then I come to this column and I do the opposite of what was there. So since this one's going to be solid black when I'm finished, this one would stay white. Then this one gets inked in black. That stays white. So now, you know, I'm working my way down. White, black, white, black, white, black, white. Okay, so let's work on this vertical column. You do the opposite. Since that one was white right next door, this one would be get black, white, and then I'm just going to work my way down, alternating, coloring in every other section. Okay, it's like a checkerboard pattern, but with some really cool movement to it. And then in this column, that's going to be the white. This one will be the black one, and white, black, white, black. And I still need to do this section. I started on the second column over just to make it easier for all of you to see. So again, that would be white, whereas this one would get inked in, white, inked in, okay? So now I'm going to get my thicker nib pen. I usually switch to maybe a plastic nib pen for doing my inking in, or an 05 or an 08, or a graphic one. But this pattern is just a great discovery. I've really been looking at all that zentomology of tangles and studying pattern types. And some patterns, or a lot of the patterns, actually fit into several categories. Like I would say this is somewhat of a grid pattern, but also somewhat of a bold, dramatic pattern. And I'm just kind of inking in wherever I want to as I go. Maybe do these thin strips first. I don't know, do whatever you want. Just always remember not to smear your hand across the ink while it's still wet. And just slowly watch it come together. And yeah, it's so fun. I love discovering new patterns. For those even thicker areas, I'm going to pull out a thicker pen. Let me find it here in my pouch. I actually have this brush one, maybe. It really looks like a brush. And then I'm just going to, it's almost like you can paint it in. Do you see how that really works? So it's a Sakura Pigma brush pen. Do you see it slowly evolving and filling in? So I just thought it would be a fun one to share with you and give you something new to try. I'll really paint in these sections, and then I'm going to probably have to go back down to my PN or O1 pen to really color in the smaller areas. I don't want to stay within the little sections. Okay, so let me go back now to my plastic nib pen. And this is fun too, to leave a space blank. You can look on the Mosaic app, hashtag blank spaces, and see that was one of the prompts one time that headquarters put out. And so you'll see people tangling tiles and leaving one of their areas blank. Gives your eye a place to rest, and it's just something interesting and different. If you tangle a pattern with this, if you tangle a tile, I should say, with this pattern, send me a photo. I like seeing what you make. I did a few practice ones. Well, I've been tangling it a lot. But here's just a few more to show you how you can vary the scale. Okay. A lot of inking in. And in a moment, I'll get out my graphite pencil and show you how I shade it. All right, it's mostly there. Out of an interest for time. And you see I'm rotating my tile too. Even when you tangle, you can rotate. When you shade, you can rotate. All right. Pretty cool, right? I really like that pattern. All right, let me get out my pencil. Oops. Touch up a couple more little areas. Graphite pencil. And my tortillon. The way I would shade it is just take your graphite, and between the black and the white where it kind of transitions, you can just put a little bit of graphite down. Do you see what I'm doing here? Working down that column. Then I'll go over here. Same thing would happen over here. Swirling my tortillon around, pushing the graphite into the fibers of the paper. If you want to shade it in another way, you can. Well, there's a quick little tutorial on woven. Hope you have fun with that pattern. You can go to tanglepatterns.com and read more about it. So hope you enjoy that and have fun with your Zentangle practice. And like I said, send me photos. Here's my email address if you want to send me pictures. And thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.